I probably started ITLA in 2007. It wasn't really called ITLA, it was called IT Managers Academy. We changed the name from IT Managers Academy to IT Leadership Academy because we thought we weren't creating managers, we wanted to develop leaders.
I think I've been involved with ITLA for 30 plus years since the beginning. I actually filled out an application for Class 1. I was rejected, but I didn't give up. I filled out an application for Class 2 and I got in. So I've been a class manager, I've been a class sponsor, and I've been an executive sponsor at the end.
I was actually in class number 7. Back in 1999 is when that started. And through my career, have been involved as an instructor, as a supporter, and ultimately as a sponsor of ITLA. And it's been one of the most fulfilling pieces of my career.
So I've had a number of different roles with ITLA, starting with being first a class manager, an executive sponsor or a class sponsor, and then eventually being the overarching executive sponsor of ITLA. But I think the biggest role I've had with it is to just be a fan of ITLA.
So as a student, I was in the IT Managers Academy 10, which was around 2002-2003 timeframe. And I had taken manager supervisor training, but wanted to take my career and my training to another level.
I first became involved with ITLA back in 2017 as the program coach, and the following year I became the program advisor. And then subsequent to that, I became the Deputy Director over the Office of Professional Development, and I was lucky enough to be able to have the program under my portfolio.
Instead of us picking the people that we thought should go, we asked the CIOs to pick the best leaders coming out of their department.
I was a student of ITLA 25 in 2017 through 2018, and it was an extraordinary experience. I was surrounded by great people, great leaders, and people who have become great leaders.
The experience that ITLA gave me allowed me to realize that the IT community was just bigger than what I've experienced in the past. It was a lot more than just the technical side of the house. It was also, the people side, the process side.
I had the privilege to be one of the students of IT Leadership Academy cohort 27 back in 2019. It gave me that great insight into the state processes that I could actually take back and use it for my advantage.
We put the ITLA people in front of a panel of experts to simulate what they would have to go through if they testified in front of an assembly committee or a Senate committee, or if they were being asked questions from the governor's office. We wanted to make it as real as possible. Any of these individuals that want to be CIOs and above will need to understand how to do that.
I think it was probably with ITLA 14 where I came in as a class manager, doing some role playing when we had to sit there and be budget officers or pretend we're members of the legislature and really just giving people a hard time that were going through the class.
Had I not attended ITLA and had that executive presentation experience where we had our class teachers and mentors giving us that critique on where we could be better speakers, I would not be in this position that I am today.
We're here to communicate technical products and technical issues and capabilities in non-technical terms. And to be able to present well, to communicate well, was invaluable to me in my career moving forward.
I consider myself an introvert. One of the biggest things that I learned about myself was that if I just put my mind to it and I do the public speaking, I do the presentations, it does become easier.
And so when we developed ITLA, we wanted to focus on the people that will become the next generation of leaders. And so we focused on what we thought was going to be the most important aspects of ITLA.
And what I saw from that was that they really bonded and really put forward the best product that they could.
I think it really was the experience of fostering and developing relationships. And you take that for granted, but ITLA really brings you together as a team. And if you take advantage of that opportunity, you're going to end up having work relationships for a lifetime.
Being able to understand the same type of problem in a completely different environment really helps people develop for the future and build the competencies they need to move into those executive roles for departments across the state for many years into the future.
When we were paired with the executive leaders to be our mentors, they really gave us very concrete, real-life experiences. The kind of coaching and mentoring that they provide along the way was very beneficial.
It's not just a professional academy, it's a personal academy. You are going to make friends for life, and that means that you're putting others before yourself and that you care about them, and that's about being authentic.
I think constituents nowadays have much higher expectations of government and the level of service they receive from government. And tomorrow's leaders and today's leaders better be preparing for it.
The hybrid workforce is one of the new challenges of California, to be able to provide guidance, support, and build relationships between people who are not working in the same office environment. And how do we handle that and sustain a productive workplace in the future?
You don't realize that there are so many processes that the state has that are backed by an IT system. IT supports pretty much every component of state government, but it also expands to the federal level.
Post-pandemic, the outlook on the way we use technology has completely changed. We used to have a lot of obstacles where we didn't need technology introduced because we've always done it a different way. Now the expectation is very different from the general public, from people in departments.
And back in 2020, when we were going through ITLA 27, COVID happened. We had to actually put the academy on hold and actually had to pivot into the virtual learning, which was first of its kind for ITLA.
We saw how people quickly transitioned from being in person almost 100% to being remote 100%. And now we have this new challenge of figuring out how to balance the need to be in person versus the flexibility of still staying remote.
Even though technology has grown and is so far advanced now than what it was 30 years ago, the most important thing that we cannot forget are people, and the development of people, the coaching of people, and the leadership of people, and fostering the type of environment that has collaboration and teamwork, because you're going to get things done through people.
Whenever I had opportunities to hire people, especially into leadership and executive positions, I got to see them working up close, got to see the way that they thought and the way that they were prepared to be leaders.
I wanted not only to be an effective manager, but I wanted to be an effective leader. I wanted to be able to positively impact a team and an organization.
But we also need to have a very different approach to how we tackle business problems, not from the technology perspective, but actually be more empathetic, be good listeners.
So I believe leaders inspire, are fearless in making decisions. And so when I think about those particular leadership traits, those are things that you learn through the academies.
And I hope you guys develop all the relationships you can, because when you look back on your career, it's the relationships that we've made more than anything else that's important to us.
So don't let that opportunity to connect with folks get past you. The folks that you've been with in the class, your managers, your sponsors, are all invested in your future and in the future of the state.
When you look at any of our top executives in the state, they'll all tell you the same thing, that they didn't get there by themselves. So it's important to build that community, and the ITLA program gives you that opportunity to go beyond the boundaries that you have in your current department.
Aspiring leaders need the opportunity to try, fail, get back up and try again, and implement what we've learned in a safe place.
The cool thing about ITLA is it didn't only just help me in my IT career, it helped me just in life, period, and just building relationships, having that confidence to speak to people more clearly and concise. So absorb the experience, stay in the moment, and help build future leaders.
A leader is like a shepherd. He or she stays behind the flock, letting the most nimble go ahead, whereupon the others follow, not realizing that all along they are being directed from behind. And that's what ITLA taught me and has done for me.
And I always said this, that there's a brotherhood and sisterhood that occurs in ITLA. And if you take advantage of that opportunity, you're going to end up having work relationships for a lifetime.
One piece of advice I would give is enjoy what you do, make the most of any project, any opportunity in your career to help you grow and also help your organization thrive. I always tell people that you work hard, you play hard, you are a work family, you look out for each other, and I would say where I am in my career is because I always made sure that I was passionate about what I did. Might have been tired at the end of the day, but those years go really, really fast, and I look forward to one day turning the reins over to one of you.